Now, if in your efforts to lose a bit of belly and chest fat as you get older, you have tried intermittent fasting and found yourself, yes, losing weight initially, but then it all comes crashing down and you look and feel like crap, then today I'm going to show you why strict intermittent fasting often backfires for men over 40 and what works better. I have coached guys who were strict intermittent fasting disciples like I once was, and we've all found this more effective, less strict way to lose weight while still managing energy, workouts, and what social life we still have at this age. So this could really save you a lot of unnecessary struggle. Hey, Chris here from Over 40 Freaking Awesome. I help guys in their 40s and 50s to find sustainable approaches to health, fat loss, and fitness that actually work with real life as we get older, not against it. Now, maybe you've tried the classic 16-8 intermittent fasting approach. You skip breakfast, then you don't eat until lunch, and then you have your dinner at, say, 6 or 8 p.m. It sounds simple enough. People online, of course, swear by it for fat loss, and the thing is, it does work, but there is a catch. Because here's what often happens. If you work out in the mornings on your empty stomach, you may feel sluggish because you're training on empty. By 11 a.m. then you're fantasizing about food and you can't concentrate at work. Then when lunchtime finally arrives, you are so ravenous, you eat like you've been stranded on a desert island, and then you crash invariably in the afternoon after that massive blood sugar spike, and you spend the rest of the day fighting weird hunger pangs and a lack of focus at work. The problem isn't that intermittent fasting is inherently bad. It's actually a really useful tool for calorie control. The issue is that most guys treat it like there's some magical fat-burning window where special things only happen if you eat within exactly 6 or 8 hours that wouldn't happen with 9, 10, or even 12 hours. That's complete nonsense, of course. The main benefit of intermittent fasting is that it helps you control your total daily calorie intake, and it keeps you out of the kitchen in the evenings when most guys do all the damage with snacking and mindless eating. But you don't need to suffer through morning starvation to get those benefits. Instead, I have a complete flexible eating strategy, the no weird shit diet that gets you all the benefits without the downsides of fasting. It's free. I'll tell you how to get that at the end, or check the link now in my bio. So with strict intermittent fasting, let me break down the 5 reasons why for guys over 40, forcing yourself into those rigid 6 or 8 hour eating windows can be counterproductive. So first of all, your workouts will suffer. If you're training at 6 or 7 a.m., you're running on fumes if you haven't eaten for 12 hours. So your strength, endurance, and recovery will all take a hit because afterwards you still can't eat for 4 bloody hours, which is not optimal for building muscle or losing fat or staying sane. Secondly, you can't focus at work in the mornings either. When you're genuinely hungry and thinking about food, every 5 minutes your productivity inevitably crashes, so you're not doing yourself any favors professionally by being hungry during important meetings and then taking that hunger out on your poor colleagues. Thirdly, you overeat when you finally break your fast. After 16 hours without food, your body thinks there's a famine happening. You don't eat a reasonable lunch, you inhale whatever is in front of you because your hunger signals are completely messed up. You need unrealistic amounts of willpower to just eat a normal sized healthy lunch, which most of us just don't have, so you take on too many calories. Then fourth, the afternoon crash can be brutal. After overeating at lunch because you were starving, your blood sugar spikes and crashes. You spend the afternoon feeling sluggish and craving more food. So when you get home for dinner, again, it is feasting time and you overeat. Then fifth and finally, it messes with your hunger signals long term. Your body stops trusting that food is coming regularly, so it starts storing more fat and making you hungrier overall. But here is a variation on fasting that actually works better for most guys over 40, just trying to lose a little bit of weight. Flexible eating windows that fit your life instead of forcing your life to fit some arbitrary 6 or 8 hour timeline every bloody day. If you have a morning workout, have a light, high-protein breakfast afterwards. This is exactly what your body needs for recovery and keeping your energy stable for the rest of the morning. You can still have a 10 or 12 eating window, which is plenty for avoiding that evening snacking. Or let's say you have an important work presentation at 10 a.m. Don't go in there starving and distracted. Have something small, maybe a yogurt and some fruit so you can focus. Or maybe you've got a social dinner plans at 8 or 9 p.m. Don't be the weird guy who can't eat because it's outside your window. Just adjust your eating that day to accommodate real life. The magic with fasting isn't the exact number of hours. It's avoiding late night snacking and being mindful about when you eat. A 12-hour window from 7 to 7 works just as well as 8 hours for keeping you out of evening trouble. And the thing is, you can even do harder intermittent fasting with those 6 or 8 hour windows a couple of times per week when it fits your schedule. Maybe weekends when you're not training early or don't have work commitments, but don't force it when it's working against you. So I'd encourage you to think of intermittent fasting as a tool in your toolbox, not a religion you need to follow perfectly. Some days you might naturally fall into a longer fast because you're busy. Other days you might need to eat earlier because of training or social or work commitments. So the goal is controlling your overall food intake each day and avoiding that mindless evening snacking, not suffering through some arbitrary time restriction that makes your life harder. Most guys who've tried strict fasting and given up entirely could have succeeded with a more flexible approach like this. Instead of saying, oh, I failed at intermittent fasting, it becomes, I use eating windows when they work for me, and that works for us longer term. You see, at our age, we've got enough stress going on without adding food anxiety into the mix. We need approaches that reduce this kind of decision fatigue and make healthy eating easier, not creating more rules to break. So if skipping breakfast makes you feel great and doesn't interfere with your workouts or work performance, brilliant, keep doing it. But if you find yourself forcing yourself to be miserable for some theoretical benefit, you're missing the point entirely. Now again, if you want that flexible eating strategy that gets you all the benefits of intermittent fasting without the rigid rules that make your life harder, check out the link to the No Weird Shit diet in my bio or description. Remember, the best eating approach for us is the one you can stick to long term without feeling like you're constantly fighting against your own body and lifestyle. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Flexible beats rigid every time at our age. Please take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon, mate.